Welcome to another edition of Geek Vision, where we geeks share our vision with you and tell you our views of whatever show or film that we're discussing. With me are my buddies Ray and Brendan. Say hi, guys.
What's going on?
I swear I thought you guys were going to say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Yes, okay, and so now this is a spoiler review, and what we'll be reviewing right now, of course, is Zack Snyder's Justice League, not Justice League, but the Justice League, how it should have been done in the first place. Yes, and we all were very pleased with it, to say the least, and so now it is time to go in. So let me see, Ray, since you're new to our little group, why don't you start us off by giving us your brief overall feelings of the entire movie and how it made you feel, and just and how you're feeling with this differed from your feeling from the Justice League version that you saw.
This version is we've been waiting since 2017 for this. I'm saying release the Snyder Cut. It is a brilliant film. I was up early in the AM, so it would not be spoiled for me, so I can see it right off. And Zack Snyder did an amazing job from what we saw in the Justice League. No comparison. It was a great film, and you really got to watch it if you haven't seen it at all.
Exactly. Brendan, your feelings as well?
That's a better fucking movie. Are you kidding me? Joss Whedon, you dickwad. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I loud?
It's okay. We're not in church. Go ahead.
Are you shit? This movie alone was a reason to kick him out of Hollywood, let alone all the shit he pulls. Are you shitting me? I'm the angry redhead. Thank you. That's what I do.
Exactly. I definitely second both of you guys' sentiments. I feel like I liked. Why does my lip look like it's swollen? Like I just ate 6 lemons and I'm allergic to lemons.
You're okay.
I do not have on this much lip gloss. I promise.
You not see the stars behind me twirling? It's okay. We're gonna be okay.
I'll Photoshop this out. Anyways, yes, I did not expect to really love this movie the way that I did. I knew. I believed it would be better.
Better, cool, but
better.
God.
I totally believed it would be better. But I was sitting there because I was talking to Brendan right before we both decided to watch it. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sit through the whole 4 hours. I really want to, but I don't know if I'm going to. Let me tell you, it had me there as if it was a whole bunch of watermelons opened up, seedless watermelons for my enjoyment.
Was too easy.
It was feel like
the first hour was the same thing, but then the next 3 hours.
I loved it all. I felt like it was like watching a limited Netflix series, and I was able to binge the entire thing. But I didn't get bed sores or anything like I thought I would. I was just, and if I did, I couldn't feel them because the epicness just numbed everything. But I really loved this movie so much. This was like a 20 out of 10 compared to the 8 out of 10 that was the Justice League film to me. But Wonder Woman in both films was my MVP. But in this film, Zack Snyder really elevated her and really
badass.
Man, those scenes, I hope that he does part 3, Wonder Woman 3, and incorporates the same kind of fighting style and his signature slow-mo. Yeah, it was fantastic. So
how does he not go? I know he's saying he's not. But
well he didn't.
All of this is going to generate. How does he not come back and finish this?
Well, they always say no until they say yes. So now let's jump over to our favorite scenes. Brendan, what was your favorite scene or some of your favorite scenes from this entire 4-hour epic event?
This may seem masochistic or very dark, but me watching Cyborg bury the box in his own grave was
a very tough scene.
Right, it was tough, but that's a DC moment.
Oh yeah,
that would never happen in Marvel.
No,
that was such a DC moment.
Yeah, that's
what you're going.
Okay, never will. That's what DC got over Marvel. Those kind of moments.
Yeah, because they go darker, and that was totally like a comic book panel. I saw that, and in my head, it was a total comic book panel. Him digging up his own grave and just burying them. It was fantastic.
That was, honestly, that was Oscar worthy, and it wasn't in the first one. And then you're sitting there and you're just like, holy fuck. this movie is so much better because of shit like this.
Yeah.
If we had done the extra 30 seconds, even if Whedon had taken just like an extra 5 minutes of the footage, and I'm not even kidding. Like, I know there was an extra 2.5 hours, but like, even if he had taken like 5 minutes here, like Deanna realizing everything in the beginning, and then just a couple of minutes with Flash.
You mean Diana?
Yeah.
Well, while he's drinking, Ray, what do you think about Princess Diana?
It was nice to see her come back to form. After 1984, she was so like, what happened? Like, that's 1984, what happened? And then back to the Snyderverse, it's like, finally, we get to see like an actual warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those beast norm, you get to hear that, that guitar riff come back and everything. And when she fought Steppenwolf near the end, I was like, dude, that's freaking excellent. We'll talk about that later when we speak on this one.
Yes, but you were just like all of us. We are all just like, it was. I couldn't even believe it. Like, I was on the verge of having an orgasm. She would have been the first woman that would have given me an orgasm. The first woman.
And also what they did with the black, like, I have so many favorite scenes in this movie. It's hard to like whittle it down, but Flash and Cyborg, like, they did not get their shine in the Whedon version. It's like seeing it.
Thank you.
There's so much. Cyborg's story is like a mixture of a haunted kind of thing, but with real heart in it. Like,
yeah.
And Flash, I love the way they displayed his power. Like when he first saved Iris, and he wasn't really like going after it. He was like, "Oh shit, what the hell's going on?" Kind of surveying the area. He was like, "All right, let's do this real quick."
How sad does it make you that Billy Crudup is pulled out of the Flash movie?
Who?
Huh?
Billy Crudup.
Who's that?
His father.
Oh, who cares about him? I mean, it was nice, but
I do, because I want continuity.
Well, the scenes we got with his father, they were good. His father reminded me of the dad from Back to the Future.
Oh my God, that is so brutal, but so effective.
It's kind of true.
He looked and acted a lot like him or whatever, so I kind of thought that was him. I was like, wow, the de-aging technology is amazing here.
I was like, oh my God, technology got so great.
Yeah, there were so many different scenes in this film.
Favorite?
God, one of my favorite. I had to like stop and like work hard to do a nice screen grab. I'll post it on the Super Sci-Fi soundboard thing. But it was a scene towards the end during the final battle when Batman had eliminated a lot of the parademons and he was driving closer and closer to the to where Steppenwolf was, and then all of a sudden you start to see Barry running on the side, then you see Cyborg running on the side, then you see Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and then they go and they freeze, and then they just keep going. I said, man, that gave me like the same feeling that scene at the end of the Avengers Infinity War trailer #1, how they were all running towards the camera, that gave me those vibes, but even. It was just intensified because this scene was actually in the movie as opposed to that one, Plus, I could just keep rewinding it, but that scene was definitely one of my favorites. But all my favorites were definitely Wonder Woman, because such a badass, and I think my love of those scenes was intensified because of the dry spell that I went through during 1984. It just lacked so much. I was yearning for so much. We'd waited over three years for that, and we didn't really get what we wanted, or we didn't get what we paid for, even though a lot of us saw it for free. Like, I want my money back. That's how bad it was, and I saw it for free.
I actually thought, just by story alone, Cyborg in this one actually steals it.
Yeah.
I was so pissed watching this one going, my lord, like, if I had seen that in the beginning, like, again, they're going to do a Flash movie, but if they knew they weren't going to do a Cyborg, that was so important. Like,
extremely.
To leave it out, and I'm sorry, but like, Joss Whedon had carte blanche. he could have incorporated so much other shit, and he chose.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, even though Zack Snyder's version is 4 hours longer, 2 hours longer than Josh Whedon's version, he still could have added something with Cyborg.
20 or 30 minutes.
Like, that's something. Give me something.
Oh,
like, Cyborg was a useless character in the Whedonverse.
He was a plot device.
But yeah, he was a plot device. That's basically what it was. And Zack Snyder gave him he was the most character I was invested in, because he was the one with the pain and everything. And when you see him actually forming into Cyborg, I was like, oh, dude, that's freaking brutal. But I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, they really nailed his birth, and I loved how towards the end, like I know I'm jumping ahead a bit, but I loved towards the end where where Dr. Silas Stone calls himself the twice something father or something like that. And I didn't get it at first, and then I was like, oh yeah, of course. It took like 5 seconds to click in, but yeah, seeing Cyborg's birth like that, like he was definitely my second favorite character because of how much depth they gave him this round, and because they really cheated.
His hatred was shown, which I understood. Fuck you. Yeah. Mom's dead. You should have been there.
Yeah. I love the F-bombs. Loved it.
But that showed his anger, which I didn't understand in Whedon's version. Because it wasn't shown.
Zero.
Yeah, it was zero. He was just
here's the.
I mean, I get why you're angry. You're a cyborg. I mean, is that the reason? That's really shitty writing. Like, hey, I don't have hair on the top of my head. I'm angry. You know. Actually, that's good writing. You know.
For me, in this movie, all roads lead back to Wonder Woman, the first Princess Diana, my favorite Princess Diana. But I don't really want to talk more about her because I already went in. But I want to talk about how her theme song was used so much, and I couldn't get enough of it. And then, did you notice how at times, especially when they went down into the warehouse to fight Steppenwolf, they not only started her theme song, but when the camera transitioned from her to the other heroes, they mixed in this new Justice League film, so you could still hear the Wonder Woman drums, the Hans Zimmer score mixed with something else. Yeah. I said, this is the what do they call it? The anti-life equation thing.
There's not part 2. There's not part 3, especially with the KNI. GHT Mare.
King Mare.
Nightmare.
Oh yeah. I don't know what you're referring to, but yeah, I mean
the one. Watch the last 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, I did. But I thought you were talking about Doctor Strange.
No, but I love
the last 5 minutes.
They did everything.
Yeah.
They didn't hold anything back.
No. He went for it. They gave him $70 million. They gave him $70 million, and they really went for it. Like Ray, what did you like? Like, did the music amp you up too like that? And are you a huge fan of that Hans Zimmer Wonder Woman's theme? Like I am.
Yes, I love the Wonder Woman theme. That you can get hyped up with that music, and I always believe that music makes a movie better because it invokes emotion and everything. But it was nice to see that. Let's hear her with the guitar riffs again, because you didn't get like. 1984 left a bad taste in my mouth. And it was like, so to see her just like rock out again and be just the warrior Amazon that she is, it was great to see that. It was really awesome. And hear the music going on with it, was great.
Weren't we talking about last night where it ruined not only the movie, like I actually loved Pedro's character because he was doing a minor Donald Trump. He was
so over the top. I couldn't.
It was over the top, but like I appreciated that. But then they ruined Kristen Wiig.
Oh God!
She did such a great job, and then
I liked her as Barbara.
And I'm like, oh God!
I loved her as Barbara. I love Barbara the character. Barbara was probably my favorite character in that movie. But when she turned into Cheetah,
being awkward.
That's the only thing to put her in there to have Wonder Woman fight somebody. Like that's the only reason they had her in that movie. To get her with powers and fight Wonder Woman. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. Like there were so many times. Like I remember when they went to lunch in one scene, and we saw this in the trailer too. They gave us so much in the trailer, but I remember I was thinking to myself, do they know that this is coming off really lesbianish? Like, are these two ladies out for lunch together? Are they friends? Like, is this going to turn into a Lifetime movie with Tori Spelling killing someone who, or Tori Spelling being the evil cheerleader, and then the geek tries to kill Tori Spelling because the geek wants to be like the new evil cheerleader? Like, is this what Wonder Woman 1984 is going to turn into? Are the claws going to come out? You know, like, but it didn't turn into that.
Well, it's never a claw. It's a Subaru Outback Legacy. Okay, it's smelling like patchouli. You got the Canadian tuxedo. Okay, and then you know, it is what it is. Okay.
I wonder what Cheetah smelled like.
Listen, it comes with a lifetime pass to Lilith here. Okay. You get it right.
All right, so oh yeah, Brendan, how did you feel about the music? Did it really like amp you up and get you going? And are you a fan of that Wonder Woman theme song?
Had that music in it, I immediately was like, okay, this is why you don't do what DC did. This is the reason.
You mean Joss? Like you don't do what Joss did?
No. DC fucked up in the beginning.
With what?
They saw Marvel, and then
in the beginning,
following Marvel, and going, hey, in the next 10 years, we're gonna build something. We're gonna take 3 years, and we're literally going to be like a teenager who just had a wet dream and splooge all over the place. Okay, we're gonna give you some Superman. We're gonna give you some Batman versus Superman. We're gonna give you Wonder Woman. Oh shit! Then we're just gonna splooge some Justice League in your face. And by the time you're done, you're sitting there going, "All I got was splooged on."
Pretty much. Ray. I see.
If they had done character development, if they had done Wonder Woman beforehand, if they had done it, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, let asshole Jared Leto be the Joker, but let him kill whatever Robin was killed.
I think it was Dick Grayson. I got
thoughts on that.
And let Harley Quinn be a part of it because she was great as Harley Quinn. And let Superman do the Lex Luthor bullshit, and let the three of them combine, and somehow in the middle of those three, having Cyborg somewhere, having Flash somewhere. Aquaman he could have just had his story and separate like Thor.
Yeah.
Like Thor. Thor wasn't attached to anybody. It was a shitty story for the first two movies, but
he was literally otherworldly.
I love the third one, but like for the first two stories for me,
I'm among the rare group of people who love the second one because it felt like it was more true to Thor. Hated the villain; he's not memorable, but I love how it was more like a love story.
I can't love the villain. I can't love the movie. I can't.
I like the villain. He was good enough for me, but I just love Thor and Jane in that movie so much. And it just felt true.
But the point is like if they had done all of that and then they said, hey, here's Justice League. Oh, hey, everybody's going to come together like Avengers. They had the playbook and they decided to be like, oh, we're going to do the opposite of this. Exactly. We're going to do Avengers first and nobody's going to have a backstory.
Now see, I feel like if Zack Snyder's Justice League were to come out before all these Batman and Wonder Woman movies, if this would have come out first, then this is the only way DC could have started off with an ensemble that, and I think I definitely would have loved it because I love it now, and like I'm excited to see what happens from this point on. Like this is a nice springboard, and it gave me enough of the characters to really love. I mean,
bring Henry back.
Anybody could come back, so there's still time for that. But if everyone does come back, like it would be great because this would be a great way for them to start everything over because I feel like they should have done this in the beginning because DC had the upper hand, like you mentioned, Brendan. Like they had the upper hand. Everyone knows who Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are. You know, no one knew who the Avengers were except for like hardcore Marvel fans. So Marvel took a bunch of D-list characters that we didn't really know and made us love them, and DC took a bunch of characters that we love and made us didn't want to know them. We turned into Mariah Carey and said, "I don't know her. You know, I don't have anything to do with that. You know, that's J-Lo over there. You know, I'm Mariah. I sing. J-Lo does something different. You know, we don't know what's going on."
No more.
she don't need to. No, she don't need to, and Marvel don't need to. They don't need to prove how they are. But Justice League could have started off so well, but they didn't. But I feel like with this, they have a second chance. They have a nice do-over
if they do it right.
Yeah.
Gal cheated on me.
In general. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, Gal cheated on me. She's having a baby with another guy.
Yeah.
I'm a little.
Her husband. Go ahead, Ray.
Hey. This is Hollywood. Marital relations don't count. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
Go ahead, Ray. What were you going to say?
DC in general, like, started off with the Man of Steel. Mm-hmm. And I think that was a good start. That was fine. After that, like when Batman vs. Superman came around and they decided to have Doomsday as their main villain, I was like, what are you doing? That's the dude that kills
Martha!
Yeah, and that wasn't, what was that? And like my biggest problem is that no one felt sorry that Superman died. Everyone felt sorry that Iron Man died.
Yes.
Built up emotion there. He killed Superman off like 2 movies in. I was like, okay. Who's this Doomsday guy? Like, who cares about him? Like, you know who,
but I love the black suit. And
you know that I hate that they ruined Doomsday.
Yeah, they ruined him for the sake of just having an enemy for all of them to fight. But yeah, it's funny, we already love Superman enough. We're kind of tired of him, most of us, but we still love him because he's Superman. Yeah. But we knew that when they killed him early on, we knew he was going to come back eventually because Superman is the mascot for DC. He has to come back, and he did. There's
no DC without
two movies. Yeah, there's no DC without Superman. You know, I was just telling Brendan the other day that I saw something online that said I wonder if Wanda went to like Wakanda at the end of WandaVision, and then that same you know, like that same person said, you can't have Wakanda without Wanda. I was like, wow.
Good stuff.
You know what? I keep going back, and I told you this the other day. Kill Bill Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie.
How Superman views humanity is, I have to be this fragile little shit, and I'll fit in. And what bothers me about him getting killed off in Batman vs. Superman, first of all, Wonder Woman's in that, which it should have just been Justice League part half.
Part half.
Dawn of Justice. They didn't know what name to call it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But like, and then all of a sudden, the best of the best is the one that dies. You know who should have died? Batman.
Yeah, because he has no powers.
You know? None. And then they figure out how to bring him back, and in his honor, they form a Justice League. Like that's like when what's his name dies at Loki's hands.
Loki's hands or
Coulson.
Like that's a resounding, hey, we got to get together. And that's the part. Even this movie, I didn't like. Everybody's fighting to get together. Like, your world's about to end, assholes.
Well, I think that's what I don't think they're fighting to get together. I think, and it's funny, every time we say get together, I keep hearing that theme song. Get together. Can't get it out of my head from the trailer. But yeah, I think it was pretty clear that they were coming together because of the common goal, just to stop the main enemy. But I do.
Flash just needed a friend.
Yeah, I mean that's all he wanted. Flash is like, say no more, sign me up.
I mean, good Lord. I mean, he's just sitting there. He's that guy that's like playing with two dolls in the corner of the fucking kindergarten. He's like, do you want to be my friend?
He's like knitting and crocheting all at the same time. I'm like, how are you doing this? I can't even do that.
What are you doing?
All right, now let's talk about Steppenwolf and Steppenwolf's upgrade. People are calling him the Turtle online because I guess his skull looks like a turtle shell. It doesn't look like a turtle shell to me, but
I mean, he looks like a hook 'em horns, but not a turtle.
His face is so small. I'm like, how does your small head carry that huge skull?
His horns are hollow, actually.
Can you imagine? You knock on it, you can hear it. You can hear
minor torso handle this huge junk. Oh, I'm sorry. Different topic. My bad.
Now who got flashbacks of the Destroyer from Thor when you saw Steppenwolf the first time?
Yes, I mean, I kept actually during this, not the Whedon version, but during this, I'm like, wait, I've seen this before. and then I'm like, okay, you know what? If this is the worst part of this, I'm okay with it. But like, just the fact that like, how is it that Earth could have repelled them together once, and then all of a sudden the Amazonians are that weak against him? Like, I had a problem with that.
They weren't. They needed assistance. They were stronger together when all the forces of the world came together. So one group still couldn't take them out. It's like with Endgame or Infinity War, I should say. You had 3 different factions of heroes. One group couldn't do it, but when they all came together in Endgame, Avengers assembled. You know, they beat Thanos not once but twice. You know, so it shows you that we are stronger in numbers. You know, like Ray, what were you gonna say about Steppenwolf and the Destroyer?
Definitely the armor looks the same, but he doesn't feel like a bland character anymore. Like, he feels like he actually has a purpose, you know? Like, he just wants to get back in the good graces of Darkseid for whatever betrayal he did. I was like, all right, you got a motive, you know?
Okay, I mean, I can cut ahead. We're not doing that. Never mind.
Yeah, we're almost there, but yeah, like Steppenwolf now has some kind of depth. They gave him a reason to be there and something to work towards, and no matter how much screen time someone gives or someone gets, as long as you understand what their motivation is and like why they're fighting so hard, why it's so important to them. I think that matters the most, especially with an ensemble cast. And I mean, but it's like the Justice League version made us more thirsty and more receptive to everything that Zack Snyder is getting. So it's funny how things work out. I'm a strong believer in everything happens for a reason, and I feel like the Justice League was made so that we could truly appreciate Snyder's vision. Vision. Rest in peace for the 3rd time, Vision. Shout out to Paul Bettany. But it's interesting because we like I said, we had the Justice League, and now that kind of made us appreciate this one more. Much like how in life, when something really awful happens to us, then we have something like a huge blessing come our way. We tend to appreciate it more because it took so long for us to get here, and we didn't expect this gift or something. And this movie was most definitely a gift, and I think Steppenwolf, I think he made some fans. He definitely stood out a whole lot more in this film, as he should have, since he was more so the big baddie, even though we know he was just a henchman. He was freaking amazing. Now, somebody who is equally as fierce and who had no fear, but she was a lot smaller, was one of my favorite queens in DC, Queen Hippolyta. Wonder Woman's mommy was just so off the chain. All the Amazons were, but I loved how she fought with her girls, and they were like, she went back for some of them, and her costumes are pretty cool. What did you all think about her and Connie Nielsen playing her? Like, does Connie Nielsen, the actress who plays her, does she guys give you the Queen of the Amazon? She does for me, but does she do the same thing for you?
I love her portrayal. Last weekend I saw the Justice League with my wife. I want her to see that before she sees this. And during that scene where Steppenwolf comes and starts attacking the Amazon, she runs away, like with no provocation or anything. And my wife was like, "Why is there people behind like that?" And in this one, like, you could feel that she didn't want to go, and like, she wanted to stay and fight, but she had to. I'm like, that is great, and that's completely.
That also bothered the shit out of me
when she ran away in the Justice League version.
Are you kidding me? That's Diana's mother.
Yeah.
I understand she had the mother box, and so she had to go. But I totally and I got that. But I wish she would have stayed more, and that's why I truly appreciated. the fact that she went back for some of them in this one, and we got more of an extended version of that entire. That was my favorite. That entire Amazon scene was my favorite from the first cut. And
that is so much more.
Yeah, it was so much more. Like they gave us like they didn't just give us breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They gave us all of it, all at once. Yeah, and they really showed different women really
I knew
fighting
I was
hard
in
for
for a
comic.
good show this morning when I woke up to your text and you're like, "Holy shit!" And I did not fall asleep.
I was like, did he fall asleep or whatever? But then I know you have to actually work. I'm not working right now, so I can stay up to like.
Oh no! I had to work on parenting.
I'm glad I don't have that job either. It's a thankless job from what I hear, but I also hear that it's very rewarding.
But she also is one of my favorite underrated movies of all time.
Oh, Connie Nielsen?
Yep.
What movie?
Devil's Advocate.
Oh, with Charlize Theron too. When we first saw most of us first saw Charlize.
But Keanu Reeves, Al Pacino, she is the sister. She's the daughter of the devil. Keanu is the son of the devil, and Al Pacino, who is the devil, wants them to procreate, and she is so hot.
So
Oh.
Yeah, she.
Am I right? That is the same person, right?
Yeah, I believe she's the same person. Yeah. Hard to believe that was 22 years ago, because I think that came out in
22 years. Yeah.
1998. You know.
18.
And I was working. Hey, I was working at Blockbuster in Manchester.
Blockbuster. I'm Netflix. What's that? What's Blockbuster?
No. You guys know where it was. It was in that shitty plaza where there's now like Planet Fitness or some fucking douchebag gym. We'll pay $10 a month, but we'll also harass you while you work out.
And none of the machines are clean. Let's talk about Superman's return and his black suit.